Top of the morning, family members. It's your cousin Cutting P. It's that Good Friday, and I'm on my way to the airport because I enjoy boxing. I enjoy boxing, and me and all the family members is flying out this morning to Vegas. Kick back and have a good time, you heard me? I believe, honestly, I had a foundation up under me when I was younger, growing up. I would have became a boxer, because I swore I think I could fight. Although I done lost a couple in my lifetime. Also believe that I'm a hell of a football player because I was winning inspirational player in the OAL at Casamont every year at the ceremonies. And I was a hitter. I played outside linebacker, inside linebacker, wide receiver, tight end. Wherever I thought one of my folks was lacking, I took his damn spot. Whenever I thought they were running to a particular side, I would move that sucker up out the way because I was pretty fast. You know what I'm saying? Versatile, get you to the versatile, you heard me? So I should have been a millionaire years ago, but unfortunately life for me didn't play out that way, and my journey in life went another way. But at the end of the day, I'm truly grateful for what I have. The experiences that I've been through, being able to meet a lot of people and have friendships in all walks of life. And to this day, I still have those friendships. Whether it be with Too Short, 40, Sibo, AP9 from the Mob Figures, Master P, and all those cats that I was able to embrace in the game. When my brother Buddy Bean, Muhammad, introduced me to DJ Duro, and I spit for DJ Duro, and he signed me. And I was fortunate enough to be in a group called the Block Monsters that consisted of Brother Broski, T.Y., C-Rider, Steady Mobbin', Crooked Eye, Bavgate, Life, and Killer K, and Insane Dame. That consisted of the Block Monsters. Signed to DJ Duro, who was signed to Beats by a Pound, and it was a good experience for me back then, traveling the world. Well, not traveling the world, but traveling America and being exposed and being able to take that information that P gave me and still go through my trial and tribulation in life and come out successful. And now I know how to do business because of that. I remember the first day I met Snoop Dogg. I think it was 2001. We were going to take that big old West Coast picture. All the West Coast rappers back then was coming to take a big picture in LA. And him and DJ Durrell was tight, and he just came to embrace us. And the man was cool as a fan, man. I really respected that dude, because some people, unfortunately, get a few dollars and switch up on you. And that dude has stayed the same every time we went to LA. Down to earth, hood person, motherfucker, man. I respect Snoop. And a lot of other artists that's in the industry that I've met. Today's podcast, 11. I had a conversation with a group of girls, which were my cousins, last night, and they was talking about the perfect man, and I was talking about balance and identifying what's good for you. So I raised the question, is there a perfect woman? Is there a perfect man? And I came back and said emphatically no. There is no perfect nothing, with the exception of God himself. If everything was perfect and you were looking for the perfect man and the man was looking for the perfect woman, we wouldn't have the word growth. Some people are more wiser than others, intelligent than others, smarter than others, and get something quicker than others. So in their journey in life, they were able to obtain certain things or information, which is just knowledge that puts a person an inch above just in the understanding department. Whether it be man or whether it be woman. Growth is the foundation of God. There is nothing perfect. God had to perfect himself in order to say, I am perfect. So he had to go through all the trial and tribulations of life and failure in order to become who he say he is. Because if God made wrong and God made right, God made himself, and yet God made the devil. He's all of it. Because he created it all. In order to create anything, you have to go through the trial of evolution, the trial of understanding, the trial of failure, the trial of thought first, in order to bring it into existence. So perfect, there's not a woman on this planet perfect. Perfect, there's not a man on this planet perfect. Jesus was the perfect example in obedience to God. And this is why it says when you see Jesus, you see God. Not that Jesus is God. But to get an understanding, Jesus didn't create himself. He didn't create the sun, the moon, the stars, the air, the animals, the birds. No. But what he did do is he was an obedient to our Father. So when you see him, you see God. Perfect example. And this is why Jesus is put at the front format for the world to see. He's the example. And we're all striving to be that. So when the woman is looking for the perfect man, the Holy Quran says that in order to understand the knowledge of God, you will have to count every grain of sea, every grain of sand under the sea and on land to understand the wisdom of God. That means that you're going to be counting till you die, and you still ain't going to finish counting. Every grain of sand under the sea and on land, looking for the perfect, thinking that there's a perfect man or thinking there's a perfect woman. It's absurd. The message of the black man say emphatically no, meaning absolutely not. Now we're striving to be good, great, perfecting our imperfections. We're challenging our habits in order to become great, in order to become one with God. But we still have learning to do. So women, quit looking for the perfect man. Look for what fits you. Look at self and see where you lacking at. And see, this is why it's called courting. And in a nation, you have to court for 6 months to a year to identify if this is what you want or it's even compatible. So you could see the real about a person in trial. Because everybody could play the role in the first 90 days. But circumstances and situations bring out the character of people, which means it brings out the real them. Then you will be able to identify who you're dealing with and see whether or not if he or she is compatible for you. It says the opposite attracts. And it also says that you attract what you are. So if you attracted no good men, it's because somewhere in your character you are no good woman. You could be having you working, have your apartment, or you own a house, and doing everything you're supposed to do as a woman, but it's something in your character that's attracting, that you allowing certain types of men, you attracted to certain type of men. And it's something about you. You attract what you are. So when you see, when he give you what he is, it's because of you have some of that in you. Same way with a man. You get these, we get these women that's made up very well. That's why it's called makeup, because they make up themselves. And they got the finest clothes. They talk elegantly. You know, they consistent, because women are consistent. I got to get more consistent than a man. We start checking off the list on what we like instead of what we need. And then we go biting on all this of what we like, and then find out that she ain't no good just like me. You know, she smoked like me, she drank like me, she clubbed like me. No man won't, she do everything like me. I need something that's opposite of me. And so we get caught up, and then you get in a disagreement, and then she call the police on you, then you get child support on you, then you get your license took. Oh man, we didn't identify what we were dealing with. So family members, understand that it's very important to court first, or in the moment you will make a decision that wasn't the best. And we all make those decisions, but at the same time, whose fault is that? You steady blaming the man, or the man steady blaming a woman, but we have given opportunity to make our own choices in life. And so when you make that, and the man turn out to be a lazy dude, or the man turn out to be unsuccessful, or the man turn out to be not what you depicted or wanted, how do you bring out the greatness in that man? And how do you bring out the greatness in that woman? And when is enough when you just have to separate and depart as a relationship? Enough is enough when you're doing the same redundant thing day in, day out, week in, week out, month in, month out, year in, year out. It's time. Ain't no more growth there at all. You have to understand when you're not growing as a woman, and you have to understand when you're not growing as a man. Understand that. Because the emotional you could allow yourself to get so caught up that you stay in a situation longer than you should. And then you having so much resentment because of it, blaming the man when you had the opportunity to leave, and it was a choice and a decision that you made. So you have to get a man that compliments you, that's stronger in the areas that you need, because you know your weaknesses and you know your strengths. And you need to get a woman that compliments you, that knows your weaknesses and knows your strengths. And that's how the unit or the unity works together. If it's not working in harmony like this, you're going to have to go to the table and renegotiate which direction y'all want to go in. If it's a lot of arguing and name calling and disrespect consistently and constantly, you're going to have to call a meeting And you're going to have to stay firm on what you say in that meeting. And that's going, men don't respect weak. I'm going to tell you that off the rip. And women don't respect a raggedy ass man. I'm going to tell you that off the rip. When you start seeing weak or you start seeing raggedy, go to the table and let that person know what you starting to see, because love is an emotion. Or better yet, love and hate is the same emotion, just in different directions. So because I love you, woman, or because I love you, man, I could also hate you, and which means I fall out of love with you, and I will come against you because the loyalty ain't there no more. What it was yesterday, it ain't today. And so be clear. Be clear that we have to be compatible before we jump the be compatible with the individual before you get to talk about this my man or this my woman. No, there's not a perfect man. We're not perfect. We have lusts and desires and habits just like you. No, there's not a perfect woman. She have resentment from the last relationships and the last relationships on how a man has done her. But the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said there's never no bad women. He said there's bad men who make bad women. That's a whole lecture though. But he also said that the woman can be just like a man. So think on that. So dear family, quit looking for the perfect man. Quit looking for the perfect woman. Look for something that's compatible with you. And when things is not working out in the best interest, go to the round table and reason. Write it on the paper. Talk about the things that's bothering you. Talk about the things that need to change. Put that out there in the air so that his ears may hear it or her ears may hear it, because transition is coming. That's the transition of something new. When you think about it, then you talk about it, and then you expect what you put out there to happen. And if it doesn't, the evolution in you, meaning the dissatisfaction in you, start to, grow tires and get real tired of bullshit and get real tired of the same thing. Then you roll off on his ass, or you roll off on her ass and get up out of there, and you ain't got time for it no more. It ain't happening. But you have to start the evolution of change. You talk about it. You think about it, you talk about it, and when you talk about anything, you expect what you talked about to happen. And I always tell people expectation is a motherfucker, because it will kill you when you expect it and it doesn't show up. And then when the dissatisfaction kick in, what you talk, the evolution of change, it starts with dissatisfaction. Then it grows being tired of something. Then the person that you start looking hella ugly. Everything that you liked about the individual, you know what I'm saying? You start looking at her feet ugly as hell. Ugh. You start looking at his face. He got a chipped tooth, breath stank. You know what I'm saying? Dude, dirty in the motherfucker. He don't even clean his ears. Women start seeing that once the evolution of change of dissatisfaction start to come into play. So I'm telling y'all, family member, get your lives together, man. And what I'm telling you, I'm taking for myself, because I'm not perfect at all. I succeed in other areas stronger, but I'm not perfect. Not by a long shot. I have my failures. And the man I am is because of a great woman that backed me 100,000%. And I would never discredit that woman. When I was a young dude hustling in the street, I met a woman that was as young as me, in college, in biochemistry, and just knew the ropes of this life. And I was just a street dude hustling, making a lot of money. And she gave me the wisdom and gave me a greater understanding on how to be productive doing it the right way. And was very patient with me because I was a very aggressive, I don't give a smashing everything. I had a team behind me and I felt I was on top of the world. But that woman that had enough of my mentality or my behavior, and she left for about 4 weeks. And I seen the evolution of dissatisfaction in me changing, like, damn, man. And I'm gonna tell you this, I'm gonna shut this one down. What changed, how that woman changed me was she asked me to go half on some property with her in Stockton. They had a duplex going for a duplex going for 159, 156 or something like that. You know, Stockton very cheap. It was 2 bedrooms on each side, 2-car garage, nice backyard. It was nice. It was in like I think it was off of either Benjamin Hope or Charterway, somewhere around that area. And I said, let's do it. And I had my money. We was going half on everything. And, you know, she was giving me the opportunity to lead the way, which I never knew nothing about buying property. This was a long time ago. And I end up with that aggressive ass mentality, and we lost the deal and lost that property. And she allowed me to fail in order for me to understand that I can't bring that bullshit into good business. And this is what my uncle told me. He said, never let good money chase never let good money chase bad money. Because when that happens, you fuck off. So she wanted me to see myself in that situation, and I did, and it made me value her more at that time. And it made me get on top of all my business, and that's how I became the man I am today with what I do. I give that over to a great woman. You heard me? Signing off. There's never no perfect man. There's never no perfect woman. It's situations in life and phases in life that make us become great, make us wiser, make us more understanding, and we take that and we walk in our journey in life and just become better than we were yesterday. It's your cousin P. Peace.